Yo, this is the Hobby Shop Podcast. I am Philip. I'm here with Don, and today we are catching up because we lost 2 episodes.
Well, I mean, it was really just because of Skype, and, well, actually, it wasn't really Skype fault. It's actually because you forgot to leave your computer on when sending the file.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to look that up.
Yeah. You told me about it, and my bad. I completely forgot about it. I was visiting family last Sunday, so we weren't able to do the show. And, well, hopefully this will make up for it. We're going to kind of try to go over the things we already talked about. Since you guys didn't hear what we talked about, we're just, yeah, going to catch up. I might as well go into this. I recently played Watch Dogs and played it all the way through. And it's a pretty fun game. The story,
Mediocre.
yeah, kind of generic. Your main character, I think his name, Aiden Pierce. He sounds like Christian Bale. He's 2 steps away from. I swear to God, when the bad guys kidnap his sister, he's 2 steps away from saying, "Where is she?" I swear to God, he reminded me of Christian Bale as Batman.
I don't know, maybe chicks like that voice. That's probably why people try picking up on it.
It's like, well, I'm emotionally damaged, and I have a deep, raspy voice. Okay, it's not that bad, but he has a little bit of that Christian Bale rasp.
I don't know, I guess people want to try and get that rasp with their heroes.
I guess because they're broken and they're anti-heroes and all that.
Actually, have a lot of heroes' voices have changed into that kind of form? I'm trying to think if they've always been deeper.
I think everybody. Well, one, I think in video games it kind of became a thing. I think because everybody wants to be Michael Hayter. I might have fucked up his name. Is it Michael Hayter? Kevin Hayter.
Don't ask me about names.
Ah, shit. The Snake. Freaking Solid Snake.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think, like, if more people... I know with kids' games, they're always high-pitched and fucking annoying.
Oh my God. When I was at Walmart the other day, I went past a Skylanders display, and I fucking heard the voice of Invader Zim, like, screaming at me. And I looked into it. It is him. It is that same voice actor. It's just so weird hearing Zim's voice out of nowhere. And it's the exact same voice. Just, not the same mannerisms, obviously, but it's the voice.
It's the actor.
Yeah, it kind of jumped out at me. There's several voice actors who kind of do that when they voice so many characters, and their voice is bound to pop up sooner or later, and you're just kind of like taken back at it by first. Like, I was flipping through the channels. I stopped on the hub once, and this is back when I had the channel. I don't have the channel anymore. And there's like this CGI bird, like he's taking care of his egg, like the mama bird flies off. He's like, okay, I'll take care of the egg. It's fucking Scott McNeil, fucking Piccolo, voicing this cartoony little bird. That voice does not match at all. That is so weird hearing this cutesy little bird sound like a demon from hell.
I mean, it's used for the comedy build-up, but...
That was just his voice. There was no, build-up or anything. It was just the bird's voice. Other voices you'll hear 1,000 times. Steve Bloom, I guarantee you'll hear his voice. You play any video game, you'll hear his voice. I mean, there's a moment in Watch Dogs where I came up against this thug. He's holding somebody up. I came up to him. He's like, "Oh shit!" He runs off. I'm like, "Steve Bloom, is that you? Come back, Steve!" I love pointing out Steve Bloom's voice in a lot of video games. Hitman Absolution, his voice is all over that one. Batman Arkham City, his voice is all over that. Jim Cummings is all over Grand Theft Auto 5.
So a lot of the civilian voices are...
Yeah. Actually, a lot of cops and some of the radio voices. Like a lot of the commercials, it's Jim Cummings. One of my favorite lines out of his voice that I hear in that game is, "Stop, you redneck dickwad!" I can't do his voice, but it's just I just never thought Jim Cummings, the voice of freaking Darkwing Duck, would be calling me a dickwad. Or, no, inbred dickwad, that's what he says. Just imagine that, Darkwing Duck calling you a dickwad. Anyway. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Watch Dogs, and then we just all of a sudden got
into voice acting. Anyway, Watch Dogs. The story was kind of mediocre. You really don't care about Aiden or his sister or his nephew. The gameplay itself is really fun. The graphics are great. The graphics look amazing. I finally figured out what people are talking about when they talk about the aliasing. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it's kind of like it's a graphical glitch. It's because it's running so high. Yeah, sometimes the system can't handle it. So there's times where where the graphics kind of like shake a little bit. It's very faint, but you can see it. I don't know if that is what aliasing is, but that's something I've noticed. It's usually on like power lines or something, or anything thin.
So a lot of really small tech. I shouldn't say texture, but I guess small models.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
they kind of glitch up a little bit. I've had a little bit of problems with freezing. I don't know. My disc is perfectly clean. I bought it like a month ago.
Does it freeze whenever there's like a lot of clutter on your stuff?
I think when stuff is happening, like if I'm doing too much stuff, like if I'm driving, I'm hacking something. I hacked a barricade. Somebody crashed into it, and the game freezed. The music was still playing, and all the noises were still going. Just the picture stopped. I just reset it a few times. I hit the home button a few times, went back into the game, and then it eventually fixed itself. It did this at the end of the game too, in the final cutscene, which kind of ruined it. That's if I care, because it's like, oh, your buddy, he turns on you and pulls a gun on you. The whole game is Aiden trying to find the guy who killed his niece. You do find him, and you get the option to kill him or let him live.
What's with games having left or right choices now?
I love when games give you choices, but the problem is this is the only choice they give you in the entire game.
So it's not really...
It's arbitrary.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, you didn't have a choice throughout the whole entire game, but now you have a choice. It's just like...
You want to kill him or not kill him? I don't think there would have been much of a difference in the endings. I didn't kill him. It's just... I don't know. I just didn't kill him just because I figured it made more sense plot-wise, because he was like when his nephew sees what he does, he's like horrified by it, and he's like really thinking, did I need to kill all those people? Did I really? And here's the thing, the game gives you no real reason not to kill people. It's just easier to kill people. I guess if you want to be, I don't know, if you want to be pro at it, or I don't know, you try not to kill anybody, you can go the entire game without killing people. It's just a hell of a lot harder. So I kind of like that. The game's about as hard as you want to make it. You can go in guns blazing. You can sneak around and distract people. And one of my favorite things is when people have grenades, and you can hack the grenade and make the grenade blow up. But they have a chance to like grab it and throw it away. Some guys do, some guys don't.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck do you hack a grenade?
Or in future times, everything's computerized.
Then why aren't guns computerized? Why can't you hack a gun?
You can hack a gun. It just makes it fire off, but that's about it. I think you're hacking a gun. It could be something else. I think it's the gun, but I could be wrong. You kind of can do the same thing in Arkham City, which I think almost every game when it comes to combat and stealth is kind of been modeling itself after Arkham City. Before that, I would think everybody kind of would copy Metal Gear Solid or Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. I want to just say Splinter Cell, but like, Tom Clancy came out.
It's a brand. You gotta say the brand name.
But either Splinter Cell or Metal Gear Solid, that's what most stealth games kind of emulated, or unless they went on with their own system. But the majority of that seemed to be what people modeled stealth mechanics after. Now it's Arkham City. Arkham City is the two styles I see duplicated the most is Arkham City and Assassin's Creed. Shadows of Mordor, for instance.
No, Assassin's Creed didn't feel very stealthy when I played the first one. I was just like, I'm gonna just run up,
Well,
stab
I'm not
you.
talking about stealth. I'm talking about like climbing and stuff.
Oh, climbing. Okay.
The climbing mechanics and all that. Batman, people mimic the stealth system and the combat system. You know, you have the little icon that'll pop up and you react. And it doesn't make it very hard unless you take the symbols off, which you can in most games. Take the symbols off, and I'm talking from experience with Arkham City. Even though you can say, it makes it too easy. It's a hell of a lot of fun, though. It's a lot of fun. Being able to just take down an entire crowd of thugs. I don't know if you really can do that in Shadows of Mordor. I still have not played it. So I don't know if it's the same there. It seems similar, though. In Watch Dogs, the combat is somewhat similar to Arkham City. It's a little more... It's not on the nose like most games. It's a little more... it's a little more unique a little bit with the hacking system and all that. I can't even tell you if I even punched somebody in that game. Most of the time I'm hacking shit. It's just... I don't know, the game was a lot of fun. Driving fucking sucks. It's like I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 4 again, where the cars feel like they're all driving on ice.
So they just slip, and then they don't brake, and then they just swerve, and you're just like, oh look, hit pedestrians, and I didn't mean to hit pedestrians, whatever.
Yeah, a lot of times, especially when you have to drive fast. That is the death of me in that game.
I'm gonna take a sharp turn. Everyone, good luck.
What was the hardest was following people, telling people, like trying to stay far enough away but still close enough. Once you get into a chase, that's when things get crazy. But the cool thing is you can hack blockades and bridges and traffic lights and all that to mess the guy up. Traffic lights seem to be the thing that works the best. Blockades is all about timing. Like I said, gameplay wise, the game's golden. The story, a little lackluster, kind of generic, standard action movie shit. It tries to go a little deeper at times, but it's just kind of like, I've seen this done better. There is some highlights in the game. The villain is delightfully scummy. The guy is just such a sleazebag. And it is satisfying to kill that bastard. Granted, you don't see a whole lot of him, so it's not as satisfying as it should be. But it is cool that you don't just shoot the guy. No, you turn off his pacemaker. Which is kind of scary to me, considering I have a pacemaker. But you turn off his pacemaker and he just slowly dies. And you're like, good, you piece of shit. But you're not like, yeah, fuck you.
It's just like, he's just, kind of a typical villain. It's like, okay, fuck you.
He's kind of, but the performance was really good, though. I gotta say, the acting's pretty good. I just wish the writing was better. But yeah, everybody does a good job. I don't think the guy playing Adam Pearce, like I said, he's kind of like he was trying to emulate Christian Bale a little bit. And I'm talking more like Terminator Salvation Bale, more than Batman Bale. But it was overhyped. I expected it. I expected with any game. Really, the only game that I think ever really stood up to the hype was freaking Arkham City. I know people want to say, "Oh, I have a hard on for Arkham City." Hell yeah, I have a hard on for that game. That game was awesome. Um, that's really the last game I think really lived up to the hype. I can't say anything about like The Last of Us. I've watched a full playthrough of that game. I just haven't gotten to play the game myself, so I'm not going.
So you spoiled the whole thing for yourself, pretty much.
Yeah, by the time I play it, well, playing the game is a different experience for me than just watching the game. I still would love to play not Grand Theft Auto. I would still love to play Metal Gear Solid 4. I've seen all the cutscenes, but I still would love to play it. Luckily, I have PlayStation 4, and I might get to play Phantom Pain. And no, I'm not going to buy Ground Zero. I think it's horseshit that they're selling you a demo for like, what is it, $30. $30 for a tech demo.
That's insane.
I think on PlayStation Network, I think it's cheaper. It probably, no, actually it is cheaper.
I mean, it's still insane that they're selling you a demo. That's
yeah, but keep in mind, it's like a what is it? You can basically play the way you play the game the length of the game depends on how you play it. So you can probably get about at least I've heard people say that they could get like 6 hours out of it of constant gameplay.
I mean, if you can get a discount on the original for purchasing, I can understand, but
you know what? I wouldn't mind it if they did a bundle deal and they were selling it for that price. If they packaged it with like I don't know, HD. You know what? You know what they should have done? HD remake of the first game and throw in Ground Zero as a bonus.
I think the HD remake is just bait right off the bat for it. So yeah, that would actually make it a pretty good deal.
Yeah, you get the HD remake and you get the HD remake of the first game and you get the demo for Phantom Pain.
You know, that actually sounds like a pretty good idea. A way to sell bad games. Be like, hey, you remember this game you really love? HD remake with a bundle. You guys love bundles. Everyone loves bundles.
The thing is, though, don't mistake it for a bad game. From what I heard, Ground Zero is actually really fucking good. Better than it has any right to be. Better than it has any right to be. I'm not gonna buy it. if I ever get it, be on PlayStation Network, and I'll do it if I have some leftover points or money or whatever they call it on there. Whatever PlayStation money is on the PS Network. Another game, and I know all 6 of you. I know the people who listen to the show probably are not wrestling fans. I know you're not. But I wanted to talk about WWE 2K15. I just got all the DLC for it, and I played through the showcase mode, and I gotta say, I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed because I think 2K14 was such a good game. To me, it's one of the best wrestling games of all time. That's how much I loved the previous game. You have the WrestleMania, your WrestleMania mode where you play through all the major matches at WrestleMania, going all the way back to the first WrestleMania with matches with like I think it was Big John Studd and Andre the Giant, then all the way to WrestleMania 29. You had the Beat the Streak mode, which was a lot of fun. You would you pick any wrestler on the roster and go up against the Undertaker, try to defeat his undefeated streak. And it really feels like you're in a match with the fucking Undertaker. You hit him with a finishing move, he'll just pop right back up again. That's the closest thing to a boss fight you're going to get in that game. It's basically a replacement for Slobber Knocker mode, where basically you just last as long as you can. But anyway, in this game you have My Career mode, you have 2K Showcase, you have Universe mode, and you have just the straight up exposition I can never say that. Match mode. I call it match mode. Uh, I can't pronounce it.
Expedition?
No, close. Exhibition. That's it. Exhibition. Okay. Where you go and set up matches and play it. I'll go from one to the other. I'll start with my career mode. Fuck my career mode. Holy shit. 7 hours of fucking grinding. Just to get to fucking Raw. Here's the thing. For those who don't know, my career mode takes you you start off as a rookie down in the Performance Center over in Florida. You start there, you build up, you climb up the ranks, you eventually get to NXT, you become the NXT champion, then you just keep climbing, then you get to Superstars, the main event, SmackDown, and your goal is to get to Raw, to get to the main show. Actually, your goal is to get to WrestleMania, and beyond that, get in the Hall of Fame. Basically, have a Hall of Fame career. The problem is, it takes so long. It's just non-stop grinding. And it's like they talk about, like, you can play for your own feuds and rivalries and all that. I have not seen a single fucking rivalry in that entire game. In that entire mode yet. I've played 7 hours of it. Now granted, there's way more to it. It's just, why? Why am I playing through this? If I'm not getting any of the awesome stuff I was promised. I mean, granted, I get the idea. You have to get to Raw. You have to bust your ass. You have to grind. But it's just way too much fucking grinding. You're wrestling so many matches that don't matter. You're just wrestling for points.
Well, I mean, a lot of people seem to like grinding nowadays. I mean, I already went through a whole argument with this one person online, grinding's more like a job than it is fun. And he was like, no, it's fun! It's fun crunching numbers. It's like, well, you make
it depends on the game. This game, it's not fun, it's tedious. Also, you don't have access to all the moves. So that's why you have to get the points. You have to get enough points to buy more moves, to buy more abilities, so you can do more in the ring and have a more exciting match. The goal is to get a 5-star match, and you have to get more moves to be able to have a 5-star match. Win or lose, you still progress. It's just when you lose, especially when you lose a title match or something like that, it's right back to grinding. It's just so tedious. And I can't help it. I got bored and I just couldn't stand playing anymore. Especially after I unlocked everything, there's no fucking point to play it anymore. And here's the thing. I got pissed because I had one thing to unlock. One thing. I just wanted Adrian Neville. That's all I wanted. I wanted Adrian Neville. And I just took forever. So I just got the unlock everything thing on DLC, so I didn't have to go for that. Maybe it's just me. I didn't get very far. Like I said, I got 7 hours into it. And that was just playing. I don't play like 7 hours straight. I play like an hour or two at a time. Most of the time, I was playing the other modes. Moving from there, showcase mode. Like last year, the showcase mode is pretty cool. You play through 2 major feuds. You play through the Shawn Michaels Triple H feud that started at SummerSlam 2002. I was actually watching this before. I was actually watching that on the network before we got started. It goes from that to I think SummerSlam 04. I think I might have Bad Blood 2004 because I think it ends in a Hell in a Cell match. The other story is CM Punk versus John Cena, and boy does that felt like they were just polishing a giant turd.
Hey, people like turds.
Well, the thing though is, this storyline for you means nothing, but to me is this. I remember this fucking storyline because it didn't happen too long ago, and I remember how fucking frustrating it was. just how they just completely fucked up a story that was given to them on a freaking silver platter. They had an awesome storyline they could have done. What they do? That's what they did. They just completely fucked it up. So you're basically playing for this fuck up of a storyline. They had great... CM Punk and John Cena had awesome matches, but nothing really to write home about. Actually, the best feud of that year was Orton versus Christian, but guess what? That's DLC. The better story was DLC. But anyway. Yeah, Showcase mode is really good. The only problem is you do feel like you start to play matches that don't really matter. Like that's something you didn't come across in WrestleMania mode, or 30 years of WrestleMania mode, whatever they called it. You didn't run into that problem because all the matches you were playing felt important. It felt like you're really playing through history. This, you played through some Raw matches that kind of seemed not important. But otherwise, it was well done. Presentation was great. They were using like previous games. They used actual footage from the show, spliced in with CG not CG, but in-game cutscenes, which recreated what happened pretty nicely. Gameplay wise, fucking love the gameplay. The gameplay is a lot of fun. When you just play basic exposition, when you play basic matches, it's a whole lot of fun. It's really addicting. Graphics, amazing. The graphics look incredible. I love what they did with the championship belts. They actually really make them look like they were made out of gold. Like, you would see the reflection, the light reflecting off the belts and stuff like that. Really cool stuff. The lighting is done really well. Like you can see the lighting, like kind of, you know how wrestlers kind of sometimes they're kind of like greased up, or they douse themselves in water so their body's kind of shining a little bit. You can see like the light reflecting off them, and it looks lifelike. It looks damn near lifelike. Now, another problem with the game was they took out a lot of things from the previous game. You could not create championship belts. You can't create arenas. I feel like the creator wrestler is a little limited. You can import textures, so it makes making custom wrestlers a little easier. I like that you're able to customize every wrestler on the roster. That you can, except for their face, you still can't really edit. No, you can't edit their head. Like, you can't give them hair, or so you can put some hats on them or not, but it's not like full-fledged. Here's a wrestler. Customize them the way you want it.
Can't make him look like another character from a different game.
Yeah, you can.
Look, here's Mario in.
No, you can. I'm talking about two different things.
Okay.
This is editing superstars, editing the wrestlers themselves, in roster wrestlers. Create a wrestler, or create a superstar, however they call it. Create a superstar, that's where you can do all that crazy stuff. I'm just thinking that you can't go as crazy as you used to. So I think it's a little limited. It's still serviceable. It's still good. But one of the things I think is stupid is they got rid of ladder matches. You got tables, ladders, and chair matches. I mean, those are essentially ladder matches. You just have tables and chairs thrown in. But I would like to have been able to do just a normal ladder match. You can't do multi-man Extreme Rule matches anymore. You can't do like tag team Extreme Rules matches, I think. I can't remember all the match types that took away. You can't edit them either. You cannot edit any of the matches. You can't add like certain time limits or make it a 2 out of 3 falls match, or you can't customize the matches either. They are as they are. It felt like this game was a step backwards. I felt like this should have been expanding on what made the last game good. Expand on it, fix some of the bugs in the last game. Which, so far, I have not come across any glitches or any bugs or anything like that. I have not played online, though. I heard online's pretty bad. Because you got modders, you got hackers, just people fucking with the game, make it just not fun. Here's something I fucking hate. You only can download 20 wrestlers at a time on Community Creation. Community Creation, for those who don't know, that's where you can go and download custom wrestlers. You only can download 20 of them. If you download 20, you have to wait 24 hours. So if you want to just fill up slots, try to get a roster going, and you just want to fill up all 25 slots, you gotta wait 24 hours to download the extra 5. Also, that's another thing. In the last game, you had 100 custom slots. You had 100 slots for custom wrestlers. Now you only have 25. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a memory issue. I'm excited for the next game though. I hope they go back to the way of 2K14 and bring back a lot of stuff they took out of that. I want custom arenas back because I feel like you could have expanded on them. So the game, I enjoy it, but anybody else, I don't. This is not a must buy. It really isn't. Neither is Watch Dogs. Neither one of these games are must buy games. So that's pretty much my thoughts. Well, moving on to something we both can talk about. We've been watching The Tick. We've watched the first 2 episodes of The Tick. We already talked about the first episode, but we're going to have to kind of sum it up again. The Tick versus the Idea Men. What do you remember from this episode? Because it's been 2 weeks since we watched it.
Was that the first episode or the second?
The first episode.
Well, I remember the first part pretty well. Where he's just sitting up a chair.
Okay, Billy Joel. Enough of that.
What?
Enough of the Southern voice.
What's wrong with the Southern voice?
Not until you start forcing it. Anyway, it starts out with the interview with Tick. I should show you this clip. I think episode 2 cut out. I think the person who posted episode 2 on YouTube cut out the interview part. So I'll show you that one later. It's really funny. They start with an interview and they're like trying to figure out the Tick's origins. And really all they get out of him is how he came to the city. And he didn't win a contest, did he?
No, he didn't win. He didn't win anything at all. He just went on stage trying. I don't even know what he was trying to really win. He just was like,
oh wait! Every superhero gets designated a city, and they wanted to show off their powers.
I'm trying to think. Did it show us a hero before the Tick?
Yeah, they showed like some blowfish guy or something.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be a reference to something, and they showed
it probably the city. Was.
They said a city also. That little title where he went to show.
The city is just the city.
Yeah, which I mean, if you can't come up with a name, I guess that's. Actually, I don't know if that's just to make fun of comic books that usually just have the city
of whatever.
No, I mean, what was Powerpuff Girls?
The city of Townsville. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Townsville.
Well, it's Courage. Nowhere.
Middle of nowhere. But yeah, the Tick has the city. Which, by the way he talks about the city and all that, being its protector, he will protect her and all that.
Well, I thought it was pretty funny how he actually narrates.
Oh, yeah, on the bus. Let me say this real quick. I feel like the episode could have been re-edited a little bit. I feel like that should have been the first scene, him on the bus. Because at first, he's in the dark narrating. You can't see him. He turns on the light, and you see that he's crammed into a bus, all hunched over. I think his head's actually up against the roof of the bus. And he's narrating. People are getting annoyed. He's like, "Shh, I'm narrating here." I think it's Shush It Dumb. I can't remember. 2 weeks ago. I feel like that should have been the opening to the episode instead of the interview thing. I think the interview thing could have came later. Right after that scene, when he gets to the city, they could cut back to the interview, and then he talks about how he got there, and then boom, theme song, then you go. Now, apparently there are a lot of superheroes in this town. I don't know.
Well, in the world itself, there's apparently a lot of superheroes.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're just like superheroes that are common.
No, which one was your favorite one out of the ones they showed?
That was probably the what was his name? Bipolar Bear.
Bipolar Bear.
No, was it Bipanda Bear?
It was Bipolar Bear.
Okay, it was
Bipolar Bear.
Yeah, Bipolar Bear. What was it? American Made.
American Made, Deflator Mouse. Which those are reoccurring characters. They come back later. Bipolar Bear, I think, was a one-shot thing, and that was it.
Well, I mean, there was
a joke.
What's the one that bashed on the Punisher?
Oh God, my mother didn't love me. Yeah, I don't know. He comes back. He comes back later.
Well, you said they were making fun of the guy's art style for drawing like big guns and really.
Oh, well, Rob Liefeld.
Like really bulky. Because I was noticing out of the Striker, I was like, why is he ridiculously
huge?
Yeah, and
it makes sense that they would be making fun of Rob Liefeld, who was, I think he was big at the time. Well, not big, but you know what I mean. I think that's when he started to. I feel like that's about when. Youngblood came out and all that. I think that's when he started to become more prominent. So I take that as kind of a jab at Rob Liefeld. Another jab would be when they're talking about the city. I think it's that's when he's talking about the city, like, I shall protect her and all that. That sounds like they were making fun of Frank Miller, because he's known for that.
Which also we forgot about the Superman characters.
Oh yeah, the Clark Kent look-alike.
You know what I never understood is, why does he really have to hit it into a telephone booth? You would think someone would still notice him changing, or let alone people would be like,
the fuck are you doing?
Seriously, you're changing in a telephone booth.
Old cliche. But anyway, he tries to get in the bathroom, can't change. He tries to get in a closet, can't change. He tries to get in a phone booth, can't change. He can save the world in like a second, but he can't change into a super suit. Another one of my favorite ones was the chameleon guy. I can't remember what his name was, but he was just a chameleon. That's all I know. I think you first see him, like, I can't remember if you first see him when Tick gets to the city, or when they introduce Arthur.
When Tick gets to the city, they were showing a bit of the superheroes.
Okay.
So it was panning to him, I think.
He kept popping up throughout the episode. Like when they introduced Arthur at a, where did he work? Some kind of office?
Yeah, it was just a desk job.
Yeah, and the chameleon guy's on the window. And later on at the bank, what was it? Can't do plaid. I don't know. I like that one.
I saw what they were going to do with the character. He was going to be one of those things that are in the background, but you don't notice it. Yeah. I thought that's what the joke was with the character, was there was just going to be back there, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that would have been interesting. Kind of like the Snell in Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Just have him like in the background. I don't think they did. They don't do that. I kind of wish they did. I guess we should talk about Arthur. He's honestly one of my favorite characters out of that show. He's just like, basically, he's making his co-workers uncomfortable because he's wearing the rabbit suit, as they say, even though it's supposed to be a moth.
Oh, I'd be pretty uncomfortable if someone sitting next to me was in a suit.
Yeah, just dressed up in a skin-tight suit.
Oh, I mean, imagine you just sitting next to someone like that in an office.
Oh, hi, Ted!
It's just kind of like...
Move. Shut the door. Shut the door.
You know, it's like when I see people who cosplay and they go to the bar and stuff, or people who wear suits and go to bars and stuff, and I see, you know, selfie picture of them, I'm just kind of like...
There's... well, cosplayers don't bother me, but... because, you know, they're just, you know, they're just dorks in costumes. I don't mean to call them dorks, but that's essentially what they are.
They're people with feelings.
My friend Cody cosplays, so...
I don't know. I'm the kind of person that sits there and says, you know, you wear a suit to a convention or a group, but when you're out, it's just kind of like...
Well, people thought Cody was weird because he dressed up like Princess Peach.
Oh, shit, you see that almost everywhere. That's just normal.
Well, the thing, though, is his girlfriend was Mario, so they were kind of going with the thing. Anyway, Arthur. Yeah, it feels like something's calling him and he doesn't know what it is, and he loses his job. Or does he quit? I can't remember. Did he quit or was he fired? Okay.
He quits because he said, I'm tired of... I think he quit because I think it was something like, I'm tired of this desk job or something like that.
And again, apologies if we're forgetting things. We did watch it 2 weeks ago. We haven't seen the first episode since. So, in this episode, what is your favorite joke? Your favorite joke in this episode?
I think probably stabbing at the Punisher, just because that was hilarious. I mean, I know it was just making fun of and it was referencing it, but it was still just making.
It was just a funny joke. I mean, even if it wasn't a slap at Rob Liefeld, it was still kind of a jab at the Punisher, which I don't like the Punisher. I never have.
Yeah, but I think my favorite line was superheroes and guns just don't mix.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Well, I mean, if you kind of think about what really superheroes really use guns. I mean, Batman, in a sense, he uses the hook.
Well, keep in mind, Batman used to use a gun. Back in his original reincarnation. In his original incarnation, he used a gun. But since then, the modern Batman never uses a gun. I can't really think of a... Well, I don't know. You got like Black Widow, but she's really not a superhero. She's kind of she's a member of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So is she a superhero?
She's kind of a superhero. I don't know.
She's like the lame superhero. Her and Hawkeye.
No, they're not lame. Actually, Black Widow's actually kick ass. Hawkeye, I don't give a fuck about Hawkeye. Look at him in his stupid sunglasses. I have this poster thing of the Avengers. I couldn't find like an old school Avengers comic cover looking thing. So I went with just kind of a modern Avengers. And they have Hawkeye in fucking sunglasses. Anyway, I don't know. It was a great episode. Great introduction to the Tick. The Tick is just this dim-witted, but he's a doofus. He's kind of an idiot, but he means well, and really he just wants to be a superhero. He just has such a love for being a superhero. He's a fanboy. He's a fanboy for superhero stuff.
He's a hero that's the fanboy hero.
Yeah. I mean, hell, there's a favorite Tick cover with him like at a convention, just like he has a little pass thing, and he's just like overjoyed. He's such a lovable character. He's an idiot and he breaks shit. I mean, Arthur's apartment. He was trying to find the secret switch to his lair. The thing though is in the comic books. You want to know how they introduced the Tick?
How?
He breaking out of an insane asylum.
Well, that's a way of understanding his insanity.
Apparently, he is the Tick because he can't remember what his real name is. Because he took so many blows to the head. So it was a superhero Troy Aikman. People who don't like football will never get that reference. Apparently, he took so many hits to the heads, he forgot who he was. So he just became a superhero for superhero's sake. The comic book's a little darker than the cartoon, but not by a whole lot. At least from what I read. A little more mature jokes in there. And there are clear references to like Frank Miller and stuff like that. Like they do mock the the Dark Knight Returns. I say mock, but more satirize. This is before Frank Miller went nutso. So this is before he went crazy. He still wasn't crazy when the cartoon came out. It wasn't really until like the late 90s. But anyway, the Tick, I think it was for the first episode was great. We might as well just jump right into the second episode, and this will be an ongoing thing. We're going to be talking about every episode every week. So the next episode, The Tick versus Chairface Chippendale. I tried to do some research on this character. There is nothing. He is just all I found out is he has a son named Stoolface.
Oh, should have fucking figured. But I mean, that's also a reference for shitface.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Well, actually, I just remember seeing the word stool. I don't know if it's Stoolface. I'm just guessing it is.
I mean, that's a double
meaning. That's probably why he didn't appear in the cartoon.
Oh, hey kids, it's Stoolface.
All I can find out is he's a gang boss. He's a criminal mastermind, and in the cartoon, he's voiced by Tony Jay. If you don't know who Tony Jay is, watch Hunchback of Notre Dame. He's Judge Frollo. He's also he was one of the bad guys in Mighty Ducks. He was in a lot of shit. He was the voice of Shere Khan. Shere Khan from Tailspin, from House of Mouse. He's the current voice of that character. I think he even did the character he probably did the voice of Shere Khan in the Kingdom Hearts games. Yeah, I'm assuming that character was in Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. Pretty much a legend in voice acting. The guy just has a great villain voice. It's just, I've heard that voice, I'm like, holy fuck, that's Judge Frollo. So anyway, we might as well talk about this episode. It opens up with the Tick and Archer on patrol. And I said Archer?
Yeah.
Arthur in the Tick. I want that crossover. The Tick meets Archer. Okay, anyway. Arthur and the Tick are on patrol. Arthur's still getting used to the wings. And they come across, what was it, bank robbery? Or no, they were just stealing something out of a warehouse.
They were stealing secret weapons out of a warehouse. It was the three villains. There's two common henchmen and the big-headed guy.
Who I think is a parody of Hammerhead. Spider-Man villain. Or at least I think he's a Spider-Man villain. I remember seeing him in the Spider-Man cartoon. But he's like, what, 4 feet tall? 4 feet
he just
tall.
Has a big fucking
head.
That's the only thing I remember. Just a giant forehead. That's just like, dear God.
Apparently the Tick doesn't like being laughed at. Anyway, one guy has a zipper on his throat. We never find out what's in there.
Yeah, it just shows him. He's like, oh, dear God.
He's like, oh God, the humanity, or something. He says something.
Which, on that scene, actually, you have to kind of give props because, don't show. That's a thing of to make things worse is to not show.
Well, the joke is it's so horrifying they can't show it on television.
Yeah. And that's what's really, a good example of, not showing.
We'd like to know what was in his throat. Maybe that's where his dick is. I don't know. It'd be like in Men in Black, the dude with the balls on his chin. That was that shitty sequel, actually. That was that shitty... I can't remember which shitty sequel it was. It was one of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, the other guy just has boils. I don't know what his deal was. I guess he was super strong.
They're just henchmen. That's all they were. Disposable.
This is when we see, for the second time, American Made, or Liberty Made. Wait, what's her name?
American Made.
American Made? Okay. I want to call her Liberty Made. Anyway, American Made makes her appearance.
Which, I mean, that's kind of a joke. American Made.
She is, it is a pun. Obviously a parody of Wonder Woman. We didn't even go into that. That Yeah, there's more on the nose references. All the references are kind of on the nose, but this, one thing I forgot about.
What?
The guy who shot himself out of a cannon.
I didn't know if he was a reference to anything or not.
He wasn't a reference. I don't think he was a reference to anything. I'm just saying that guy was funny. Fire me, son! I think he blows up the dam.
No, he just hits the dam. That's all I remember.
He just hits the dam and yeah. That's where he blew up the dam. I can't remember.
I just thought it was crevice.
Anyway. Deflated Mouse is obviously a Batman reference, but I think his character's more of a whiny Tony Stark, actually. But anyway. Remember they showed another character, the Urchin, or Sea Urchin or something.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I was just like...
He crawls out of the sewer.
Yeah. Sewer. You said sewer.
Sewer. I can never pronounce that word.
But yeah. And I don't know what he was.
I don't think it was a reference to any. He probably... he might have been. I didn't recognize it as a reference to anything.
I don't know. What was his colors? I think it was purple and orange. Or was he all purple? Or was
purple and green, I think. But anyway, he has... His little mannerism, or his little thing he does is definitely, definitely, we're done, definitely, we're done. He's like negative and always says definitely. I actually love that character. Later on, you'll see more of him throughout the show. He is. I'm just saying, he is a recurring character. He keeps coming back. So basically, they found out that a big time villain, Sheriff-Face Chippendale, is having a birthday party. So people are bringing him gifts, and that's what I guess the weapons were. They were a gift. And again, like I said, the guy's voiced by Tony J. I love that guy's voice. I love just the idea that the guy he just has a head. He just has a chair for a head.
Chairface.
Yeah. Chairface Chippendale.
I don't know, it just felt like something familiar. Like, alright, continue.
Scarface? Well, I took it as.
I guess? Scarface,
Chairface.
Yeah, I guess.
I kind of thought that was on the nose. Anyway, I love the guy's voice. Tony J's awesome. But I love the reveal of the chair. It's just because you knew it was coming. Well, I don't know. What about you? You didn't think it was like a literal chair?
I thought it was going to be something chair. I thought it was just going to be another chair or something.
You didn't think
it's just like, oh, he's got
a chair for a head.
Okay.
So was it kind of like, what the fuck? Or was it kind of a...
Well, I mean, it was just kind of like... It was just like... Huh.
Okay.
A chair. Or a face. Okay.
Yeah, you just didn't... You didn't expect it to be literal.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love his movements. I don't know, he just kind of has this weird way of moving. I remember the way he's sitting in the chair all lounged back and just like picking through a box of diamonds. And he's like, oh, diamonds. How original. He's bored. And one of the things is I love that they do the classic disguise as disguise as waiters, or just the basic disguise that anybody with a brain cell can see through. Because how many giant blue guys are there? I love that I get it, they're superheroes and all that, and it's the joke that they disguise and they still keep their mask on. Liberty Maid still has her little thing on
the bottom, I think, or did she?
No, her little head thing.
Oh, she still had her. Is it tiara?
It's not a tiara. It's made of cloth. It's like a little maid's thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what it's called, really.
But anyway, it's just that one guy's like, I've seen her before. Also, you have the freaking evil German scientist, who I swore to God thought it was the same guy who did Dr. Scratch and Sniff from Animaniacs. I looked it up. It's a completely different voice actor. It's just And you do the evil German scientist voice.
It sounds similar.
Yeah. So everybody kind of does that voice. The I don't know. I liked it because he's like, oh, I guess I must tell you my evil plan now. And he's like giddy about it. Like he gets to tell his evil plan. I love that. I love it. This is what reminds me of Venture Brothers so much. Because it's like, they're doing their evil, they're announcing their evil plan. Not because they're stupid, just because it's the villain thing to do. It's just the classic thing to do. I think even Kim Possible made fun of this cliche. But where some shows make fun of these cliches, shows like Venture Brothers and this kind of celebrates those cliches. Like I said, it doesn't mock comic books. It just pokes fun at it.
Well, it just acknowledges that it's there, and it shows that it's there, and it uses it as a way of humor.
Yeah, it's not...
It's not like bashing on or anything. It's just showing it and putting a humorous light onto it.
Yeah, it's just taking an old cliche and kind of poking fun at it. And his goal, by the way, his life goal is to vandalize everything and put his name on it.
Oh, I thought it was his face.
Or his face or name or whatever. It was kind of vague.
Because he wanted to put his face on the moon.
No, he wanted to carve his name.
Oh, was his name?
Yeah, and all they got was CHA. And I don't know. One of my favorite lines is when they're dangling over the crocodile pit, and Tig is like, "Arthur, swing! Swing with me, Arthur!" I just love that line. And again, slight little gay joke there. I get they're being very subtle about it, or maybe it's just us being adults seeing that. Or I don't know. Maybe
I'm pretty sure it's probably an adult.
It's just us being adults seeing it. But I don't know. I like to think too we're just that subtle. But yeah, I just love the line, "Swing with me, Arthur." I love the voice of the Tick. I just love his voice. Just so. It's just perfect for that character. I can't really describe it. I'm still kind of, I don't know. Anytime I see a clip from the live action Tick with that Patrick Warburg, is that his name? Mm-hmm. The voice of Brock Sampson, Joe Swatson. He always does the same voice. He plays the Tick in the live action version. And I'm like, meh. I'll actually have to watch that show to really make a real judgment on that portrayal of the Tick. Anyway, moving on. So basically he has a laser. He wants to carve his name on the moon so nobody can forget his name because he was like always forgotten about as a child or something like that because of his hideous deformity.
I thought it was just he was made fun of and he wanted people to remember. I thought it was his face. He wanted people to see his face. That's what he was being made fun of. I could have sworn.
No, I don't think it was. I think it was always name. I don't think they ever really made a reference. I don't think they ever mentioned face.
Okay, because I know they just wanted people to remember because people would always make fun of him.
I think it was name. I'm pretty sure it was name because they do carve in CH. They're actually spelling the name. It's like, give me a C, give me an H.
Should have went a little farther into it and just had him misspell it.
Oh, that would have been hilarious. I have to start over. Blow up the moon!
Yeah, and something like that. Just, where they fuck up.
It's like, drat. Well, plan B. Nuke the moon. I'm tired. Okay, so basically, American Made and Arthur, they stop Chairface. He swears he'll have his revenge and he'll be back next time. A la Dr. Claw. I'm surprised there was never a Dr. Claw reference. I'm just saying, in the whole show, I don't think there's a reference to Dr. Claw. think that would have been a given, but whatever. Maybe they couldn't. Or maybe they just weren't thinking about it because that's not superhero. But anyway, what's your favorite joke out of this episode? If you remember.
I think the favorite joke was the dark joke with the way people would make fun of Chairface.
It's not really dark.
Well, it wasn't really dark, but I mean, for the show.
Not even for the show.
There's the part that just made me kind of actually laugh and go, haha, oh, that's kind of sad.
My favorite, I already said my favorite joke. Swing with me, Arthur! Well, that's just my favorite line. Yeah, I count it. I just love that he literally is Chairface. I don't know, that's just, only in the Tick can you get away with this.
Yeah.
How does he eat? What does he eat?
He's a chair for a face. That's all it is.
Does he have a tube?
You don't ask questions. You don't put logic into it.
Yeah, okay, anyway. So this was a pretty good episode. Do you think this was better than episode 1?
Yeah, I think so. No, I'm still gonna say episode 1 was probably a lot better.
This is a job for a bipolar bear. Yeah, you can't top bipolar bear. I can't believe how hard that made us laugh.
I mean, it's just because of the relatability. It's like, oh look, I'm gonna do something. It's like I thought I'd rather not.
Like, I think the line was, "This looks like a job for a bipolar bear, but I can't get out of bed."
Yeah, I think that was the joke.
I don't know. I love that joke. But so far, yeah, really enjoying the Tick. I already knew I would because I enjoyed it when it was first on there. You probably would have been, I don't know, you would have been like a toddler when the show first came out.
I probably wouldn't even understand what the fuck is going on.
How old were you in 95 or 96?
3, 4? I can't do math right now. I'm a little tired.
Okay, but you were little.
Around that.
I was about 6 or 7. Well, moving on from that, where are we?
About an hour.
About an hour? Alright, then we're just going to dedicate the rest of the show to questions. I'm going to skip some of the news stuff that we did 2 weeks ago. Because, honestly, who really cares about freaking somebody hiding treasure in Austin?
I care. You know, that kind of mentality creates problems. You gotta understand that sometimes people do care about the little things. Didn't you not watch Zombieland?
I want to watch Zombieland now.
Yeah, I take that quote to heart. You gotta enjoy the little things.
Alright. Okay. We're going to answer some questions we already answered once, but we probably, I don't know, we might have forgotten about some of these. Our first question is, what is your favorite Mega Man game?
Mega Man 64, right off the bat. I mean...
I go Mega Man 6, because that's the first one I played.
Mega Man 64 was the first one I played? Actually, yeah. That was... The first one I played was Mega Man 64.
A lot of people tell me 6 was pretty bad. I don't care. 64 was pretty good. I have not played a whole lot of Mega Man games. I played X2.
I've played about 3. Played the one on N64, the one on the PlayStation or PlayStation 2.
I don't know. I didn't know they had any on PlayStation.
Yeah, there was another one right after the 64 that was just like it.
Legends 2? I don't know.
I think it was.
I think that was on PlayStation though.
Okay, that was on PlayStation. And then I played one with Zero in it, which
that could have been that had to be one of the X games.
Yeah, it was probably one of the X games. I don't know which one, but it's probably
X is the one where he debuted. So X2, I didn't play a whole lot. I just got to play it at a friend's house. So I'm not a big Mega Man fan. Never really have been. I got nothing against Mega Man. I love the old NES games. The music was awesome, and it's some of the best level design in video game history.
Well, I mean, come on, a lot of retro game music was good.
Yeah,
Just because it was catchy.
Not all of it. I mean,
okay, not all of it, but it was catchy. Okay?
Yeah, a lot of it, like the fucking moon theme from DuckTales. That is an amazing one. I played a lot more Nintendo than you have, so you probably don't remember any Nintendo games. You probably never played a Nintendo.
Nope.
Okay, our next question. Why the hate for Call of Duty?
Again, I've been saying this a lot. Hate's a strong word.
Yeah. I don't think either one of us hate Call of Duty. With me, it's just boredom. I just... It's just a lack of interest. I just don't care about the games, honestly. I've played a handful of them, but it's pretty much the same. I got bored with... I got tired of them as soon as they stopped focusing on historical battles. When it was when they got to Modern Warfare, I'm like, who cares? Because it's like it's modern war. Who really cares? Because I was all about the historical stuff.
Apparently, people like the modern stuff. I like the modern stuff, but my real problem with it is the fact that the creators was it Activision, and there was someone else. It was for Modern Warfare and World at War. Those were the last two I played. I'm trying to think who was with them during the time. There was the other team that they got rid of.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to Call of Duty.
I know. Or did Activision split up? I know something happened where they got rid of one of the people they were working with. But that's where those were the only two. Actually, no, I played more. But that's where I stopped. Was World at War. So I played Call of Duty 2, was it 2? Or no, it was Big Red 1 on the Xbox.
I played 2 and 3. I played 2 and 3. I played bits and pieces of Modern Warfare because my cousin was really into those games. And that's how I played Black Ops. Which I think Black Ops is probably... I prefer Black Ops to Modern Warfare. Because I don't know, the story seems to be a lot more fun, a lot more over the top and action movie-ish. Where the other one...
Are you thinking Modern Warfare 2 or just Modern Warfare?
Modern Warfare,
the first one.
I guess.
Okay, so the first
Black
one.
Ops, I think, was just more fun. Because it gave you more variety of stuff to do. And come on, awesome soundtrack. Anytime you involve Vietnam, 2 songs have to pop up. Fortune Sung by CCR and Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. Also, the little thing at the end of the credits was awesome. You know, you get freaking JFK fighting off the undead. How do you not make that awesome?
Black Ops, the only thing I really liked out of that was just the zombies.
I never played zombie mode outside the ending of Black Ops.
It's pretty fun, but when you play like other wave games like it, there's a lot better out there.
But to answer the question, neither one of us hate it. For me, it's a disinterest in it.
I think it comes more from the community. And to me, again, the creators, I have really the problem with the creators.
The Call of Duty community is some of the... It seems to be one of the worst video game communities because it's mostly just homophobic shitheads.
It's number 3 or 4, because I remember I was looking this up. Because number 1 goes to League of Legends, number 2 is Minecraft, number 3 is...
On what?
This was a list of worst communities.
What's wrong with Minecraft?
A lot of griefers, a lot of people...
What's a griefer?
People who usually just destroy stuff, or ruin your art. People who...
I've never came across that.
It's more for when you have servers.
I've never came across that. I've been part of Minecraft servers. Most of the people I've messed with on Minecraft, they've been some pretty nice people. I've really never had a bad experience in Minecraft.
Well, I never really played on servers, so I can't really say. So that might be a misleading article. And let's see, number 3 was something that was like League of Legends and Dota. It was another one of those spin-off games. I don't remember what it's called.
League of Legends, a game I know absolutely nothing about. I don't even know what kind of game it is.
And then number 4 was Call of Duty, and on up was like some other games that I didn't really care about. But again, like you said, the Call of Duty community is just highly unbearable, which isn't really the game's fault.
It's not. It's not the fault of the game or the developers. It's just shitheads online. It's just I got so I wound up just turning my mic off. I say my mic, my cousin's mic, because he wanted to play online and he wanted me to play with him, and I just got so sick of hearing. He's like, "Oh, that fag's camping," and just whatever the fuck camping is. You told me what camping is. I just forgot.
First, where you just sit in a little corner and you piss people off. That's the simplest way of putting it.
So wait, so just sitting in a corner makes people mad?
It's the line of trick me once, shame on you. Trick me twice, fuck you.
What are you doing in the corner?
You literally you sit in a little corner, you point your gun, you don't move, you don't budge, you don't do anything, you just sit there. And that just annoys the living hell out of people.
Are you shooting people, or...?
Yeah, you shoot them. As soon as they pop up, you just sit there in the corner. You're just like, okay, I'm going to make it where you can't do anything about it.
Seems kind of stupid to do that. I mean, you have nowhere to run. What if they just turn around and shoot you in the face?
Well, I mean, it's the fact that people usually sprint on by or run on by.
Oh.
They just camp in, like, inconvenient corners of, like, wow, I can't believe that person's actually...
So they're basically hiding in one spot waiting for people to show up and they kill them.
Yeah. They never budge or move or anything.
Sounds like a strategy. I'm just saying, I have... I'm the idiot. I'm always running around in circles, so...
Well, I mean, if it works, it isn't stupid. So it does work, but people just hate the living shit out of it because, like I said...
Because they get mad because they die.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's one concept I never understood. How mad can you actually get if you die in a game?
Well, Call of Duty shows how mad you can really get when you die in a game.
My cousin threw his controller against the wall. Is that the norm with Call of Duty players?
I think that's... I hope not. I hope that's not the norm for most.
He got so fucking pissed when someone killed him. And what would annoy me is the smack talk. This is like, hey, whatever, it's a game, I'm trying to have fun. Why do you have to come in here and be an asshole?
Testosterone.
It's just like... And nobody shows restraint. Nobody's like, oh, I don't know who I'm playing with. So, nobody's out there like, nobody takes in anybody's feelings into consideration. Like, oh, fuck you, faggot. What if they're gay? I mean, that's kind of a horrible thing to say then, isn't it? But, 12-year-olds don't give a shit. They learn these words and they just throw them out there.
It's worse when you hear the older people doing it too. That's...
Oh, God. When I hear people older than me saying that, it just depresses me. So, we don't have a hatred for the game itself. We might have more
I have a problem with the creators. Just because they could do better. That's my problem with it.
I have no problem with the creators. What they're doing works, apparently. Call of Duty's just not a game for me. I've never really been a first-person shooter guy. Give me GoldenEye, and then I'm happy. But and the community, I don't care for. It's like I said, hate a little strong. So that's pretty much it. We just have.
Well, I mean, when you play the community, you die a little on the inside.
No, not really. It's just like you're being kind of an asshole, so I'm just gonna play something else. Fuck you. But anyway. Next question. What do you think of Excel Saga?
I want to say it's... Actually, no, I don't want to compare it to the Family Guy of anime. Because Family Guy's... Bleh.
I would. The writing is similar. I mean...
it's just sporadic and...
Yeah, the cutaway humor is what reminds me of it. I've seen very little of Excel Saga. I've never seen a full episode of it. I've seen clips, and I think one of them might have been in the last episode, where was it Frank Welker? I think not Frank Welker, obviously not him. I'm trying to remember who did this character's voice. I think it was Brett Weaver. This parody, I guess he was a cross parody of Spike from Cowboy Bebop in Lupin, and he's just like running around screaming, shooting guns.
Yeah, now they're seeing. Yeah, he is a spin-off. Oh, look, in my afro, I have guns. Wow. Okay, that idea I had to give at least props for. That was at least creative.
This gag of him jumping into a flying car, crashing into a hotel, going from room to room, just randomly shooting and just screaming his head off.
Or he goes,
I can't do the noise he was doing, but that was hilarious.
Yeah, he does it really well.
Just the comedic, the timing on that was hilarious. It did make me want to watch more of the show. Unfortunately, I can't find episodes on YouTube in English.
Oh. There's dubs to read.
The one that I found that was subbed, the audio was off by like a couple seconds.
Oh, that must have been annoying.
Yeah, I'm already. Here's the thing. If I already don't like watching the sub, I prefer to watch the dub. Because if I don't understand the language, my eyes are going to be just focused to the bottom of the screen. I'm not really going to be paying attention to anything else. When it's in a language I understand, it's a lot easier for me to get invested and get into it more. In comedy, I have to understand it. Comedy is something that, one, does not translate very well. And keep in mind, Japanese find one thing funnier than anything else: puns. Puns do not translate at all. Unless you go with the literal translation, and the literal translation is usually
confusing.
Orange. Or banana.
Yeah, it's those things that are lost in translation.
I'm not a big fan of puns. I think it's usually you go with puns if you can't write anything funnier. I don't know. Some puns can be good. I've seen very little of it. How much have you seen of it?
Episodes 1 through 5 and the last episode.
Is there an OVA for it?
I don't know. I didn't really keep track of it because it kind of lost interest. I mean, like I said, it is Parasite the Family Guy. It's just making fun of other animes. It made fun of their forms, their styles, and
there's like a space opera episode where they make fun of like Gundam and Macross and all sorts of things.
Yeah, the only one I remember was one that was making fun of visual novels. Okay. I don't remember what episode that was. Okay. That's the last one I can remember of.
Awkward pause. You can actually see the awkward pause on the recording.
Yeah.
Excel Saga, I kind of want to see more of it, but if I can find a good quality video on YouTube, I'll try to watch more of it. Unless I can find some other website where I can find it. I'm sure I can. It was localized, I think, in 2002. That would have been the same time Fooly Cooly came out, which I loved when I was 13. I rewatched it recently. I still like it. It's just not
story wise and comedy wise. It's
very spastic.
Yeah, but for artistic and animation,
oh hell, it's
that's a visual amazing sensation. Yeah, it's just like, oh, looks awesome, but I don't know what the fuck's really going on. Whatever.
It's simplistic, but it's still interesting. It's crazy. That's kind of why I like it, just because it's just my fucking insanity. I don't know. I tend to enjoy those kind of things, but those kind of shows can get annoying. It depends on how the pacing is. Pacing in Fooly Cooly is good because it's only 6 episodes.
Is it 6 episodes?
Yeah, it's 6 episodes.
It was
no,
7 or 8.
It's 6 episodes.
Holy hell!
That's pretty short. But I think if the show went any longer, I think it would have gotten on my nerves. By the last episode, it started to. But you actually started to like the characters and stuff like that. So just from and out there, Fooly Cooly, it's not as funny as I used to think it was. It wasn't as great as I used to think it was. It came on like at the perfect time for me. I was 13, and that was kind of something that really appealed to me at the time.
I was trying to think of the story of it. I'm trying to remember. I know it was about this whole space pirate, and then there was another whole thing about the plant, whatever the fuck was supposed to be like an iron, ironing out the sheets or the wrinkles of the brain. It was trying to do something, but it was just like
that was a weird period of Adult Swim, by the way, with Fooly Cooly and Reign the Conquering, getting you Nasha, I like eating Nasha. I tried to make a pun on nauseous, but I couldn't.
Oh god, rewatching that, I was just like, how the fuck were they able to watch this back then?
Rewatching, you just watched a review of it.
I couldn't even stand it and just watching a review. I was like, holy
god.
I was like, holy butt fucks.
Holy butt fucks?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Just...
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
The voice acting, the characters, everything. I was like, how was I okay with this? I was okay with watching this and saying, oh, this is okay.
How old were you?
What?
How old were you? Because when you're younger, you tend to watch shit.
Let's see, when did Inuyasha start?
I think that was like 2002, 2003.
It was 3?
When it was brought to Adult Swim.
It was around when I was 3, so it was probably about around like maybe 13.
So you're about 13? That you have to speak up.
Yeah, I was probably around the age of 13. I think probably around there. But yeah, trying to really just look back at it, and you're just like, oh, fuck, I've changed. Thank God I've changed.
All right, we're gonna get to our next question. Who is your favorite and least favorite YouTubers? Keep in mind, it has to be somebody exclusive to YouTube. I got 3 I'll throw out there. Brentalfloss, Far From Settle, and Angry Joe.
Yeah, we can't really put Nostalgia Critic up there because...
he's not really YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, he does have stuff on there, but he's not like 100% associated with YouTube simply because...
he doesn't post videos on YouTube at all. That the guy behind the Legion of the Super Critics, he posts the Nostalgia Critic reviews. Which he has Doug's blessing to do that.
Okay. I'm gonna let you answer your.
Let's do favorites, then we'll do least favorites. So you go ahead and say your favorites, or did you need time to think of them?
Okay, no, I'm good. Right now, I think probably the most interesting one I've watched, which actually recently, which it's kind of good if we recap this, is Every Frame is a Painting. He goes from the perspective of the director point of view of, how to do shots, of how to give emotion and feeling. And I always took this for granted of every picture in motion, but a lot of the director's work really sets up the emotion of how, it showed a whole new world for media for me. I was like, holy hell, I never understood this stuff.
What is this called? Which one is this?
Every Frame's a Painting. I'll probably put links to this stuff in the description.
Well, I checked out a channel that you subscribe to on our channel, where the guy was just basically going into details of shading and coloring and stuff like that. And
that was a comic book.
That was a different. Okay.
Yeah, that was a different guy. He was doing because I was trying to learn how to do like Walking Dead style because I fucking love that comic book style.
All right.
But to say other ones, I like Filthy Frank because I like to turn off my brain. So
it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just like it's so dumb it's funny.
It's so dumb, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah. And another one I want to throw out there. He lost...
kind of like with me and Eagle Raptor.
Yeah. And the thing is, this guy lost his channel recently due to YouTube copyrights, which I think is kind of bullshit. He does reviews of cartoons, and he really showed two sides of a coin. Mysterious Mr. Enter. I think that's his name. But he lost his channel due to copyrights, which I think is kind of bullshit. And... I guess he just got a lot of strikes for the stuff he was doing. So that really sucks. So I'm kind of actually hoping he'll actually come back. But those are probably my three favorite.
There's one guy I like, but I can't remember his name. He reviews movie trailers. The guy's really funny. I wish I could remember. He's a disembodied voice, so it's not like he's on camera. I'll have to look into it. But least favorite, I don't really have a least favorite because if I don't like it, I don't watch it. There are people I don't care for anymore. There's people I don't care for. Like, I always forget what his name is. Smish or Smosh or something.
I've never really cared for those kind of people because it's just internet persona.
It's just the same bullshit where the thing, it's random, so it's funny. But some more serious ones that I dislike is guys like The Amazing Atheist, which I don't know. Once he's like asking his fans to buy him a computer, I'm just like, fuck you.
My problem was the fact that he's just a giant asshat.
He's an asshole. And granted, like oftentimes I would agree with his points.
Yeah.
But he'll go off and do stupid shit that just for the sake of offending people. Now it's hard for anything. Nothing he did personally offended me, but I can see where I just don't like that mindset. It's like, I'll go out there and piss people off.
Well, I mean, it gives off that mentality. It's like, okay, it's okay to piss people off.
Yeah, it's
for no apparent reason. It's like, well, what the fuck
essentially he's trolling people.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck did these people ever do to your argument or anything?
Well,
to where you had to.
He gets a lot of hate mail. But,
I mean, yeah, you get a lot of hate, but I mean, like when you said when he was burning the books.
Yeah, he was burning all the religion books. Even burn like the book, basically the book what people look towards if they're an atheist. He burned them, and it was just kind of he was illustrating the point that they're just books; they don't really mean anything.
Yeah, it's the whole symbolic. The thing is, some
people take that shit seriously, and it's just like it felt like he was just doing it just to spite people, just to kind of give a big fat middle finger to them.
I mean, because if you want to make a point, then just do it the way like George Carlin said. Say it's symbolic, and like he said, symbolic is for the simple people. You don't have to really burn books that people look up to and like, because that just...
It just comes off petty. It just comes off petty. Another guy, I just never found him funny. I have like I said, I don't hate the guy, and I feel like that a lot of people shit on this guy way too much. Honestly, it's the Irate Gamer. I think people shit on him too much, but I can't bring myself to watch his videos. He's just not funny. He's just a terrible writer. He's fantastic when it comes to... he's a fantastic editor.
So maybe he probably went for a different route.
But his argument... A lot of his video games... there is a valid... people are not just pulling shit out of their ass when they talk about him ripping off James Rolfe. They're not just pulling shit out of their ass. They're, you can obviously see where he basically quoted him and did a lot of similar jokes and stuff like that. I just dislike him just because he's just not funny.
I've never really watched any of his videos, so I wouldn't have really an opinion of it.
There's not a whole lot of reason to watch his videos. And this comes from a person who's starting to get sick of the Angry Video Game Nerd. I still want to see his movie, though. I still want to see James's movie. I respect James more than I actually like him as the Angry Video Game Nerd. Every year, I get excited for Monster Madness every year. So I'm more interested in his movie reviews, and that's what I'm more interested in than the Angry Video Game Nerd.
When he's more like himself.
Yeah, because I don't know, I find the guy kind of interesting. Just this guy who's basically has filmmaking in his blood. Like he just eats, breathes, sleeps movies. and it's really interesting to hear him talk about movies. But anyway, that's about all I can come up with YouTubers I dislike. I don't want to say hate. It's just because, again, if I don't like them, I just don't watch their videos.
Yeah. I think also the problem are a lot of the people who complain, like rant videos and stuff like that.
Those need to die. I cannot believe people are still doing rant videos. I avoid any video that says rant.
It's like you're just feeding the problem. I know you want to, blow off steam, but it's not the right...
There's nothing wrong with venting. There's nothing wrong with, like, if you review something and it aggravates you, that's okay. I have no problem with that. But if the majority of them, it just sounds like people who are just, I don't know. I found so many videos. I was looking into Dragon Ball Z Kai and finding videos on there. It's like, Dragon Ball Z Kai rant. And it's just butthurt fanboys. It's just people who were like, it's different from what I grew up with, so I hate it. So I avoid those kind of videos altogether. There's one guy I'm starting to get annoyed by, and this one's wrestling related. It's I think his name's Jeff the Slug Daddy. He's starting to annoy me, and it's mostly out of just the certain stances he takes on certain subjects, because it seems like he's just doing it to go against the grain, just to be different, and it just seems like it's kind of dishonest. Also, the fact that he just the way he mocks wrestling fans whenever they're happy. Like, oh, there was an exciting match. All of a sudden, they're like jerking off, and they're just like having circle jerk parties because there was a match they liked. That's the kind of jokes he says. I know they're just jokes, but after a while, it's just kind of like, so people can't just be happy.
I think that's just an example of how to construct a joke of a bad joke compared to a good joke, and I guess to the point where it stops being a joke.
He's always talking about flaming keyboard fingers. Talking about how if Daniel Bryan has a match, all of his fans have stiffies. It's just like, so what? People like somebody you don't care for. Doesn't mean you have to shit on them constantly. Now, if you're talking about idiots, if you're talking about just like, he gets a lot of haters, a lot of people just pissed off and send them angry hate mail and all that. Make fun of those idiots because they kind of deserve it. Not the people who are just excited for something. But anyway, that's about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I don't like something, I just don't watch it. Except for pro wrestling, pro wrestling has me hooked since I was a little kid, and even though it sucks, I still watch it.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, it's a very love-hate relationship.
You love it, but there's just so much you also hate about it.
Yeah, it's just like, I love it so much, but that's why it pisses me off so much. But anyway, let's see. On that note, I'm going to skip the next questions because they're wrestling related.
Okay.
Who is your favorite reviewer from Channel Awesome besides the Nostalgia Critic? You told me you didn't know any others. I say Brad Jones, so skip. Next. What's cooler, Gene Starwin's gun or Vash the Stampede's gun? And also, who would win in a fight? Said this before. I say this once. I'll say it again. The caster gun.
Well, I'm still on Vash's gun.
You still on that one? Come on, the caster gun shoots fucking black holes.
One's a little more realistic than the other.
Well, they're two different worlds based on... One shoots magic. Come on.
One's cheating. The other one's real.
Oh, come on. Alright. Yeah, that's the only thing we... Yeah. You prefer Vash's gun, I prefer Gene's gun. That's just how it is. Who would win in a fight? I don't care.
Honestly, when it comes to scenarios like that, there's just too many outcomes.
Hey, yeah, I enjoy the I watch like Death Battle and stuff like that, so I kind of enjoy this kind of stuff. But I just don't see them fighting for very long.
Well, I mean, also I just kind of see like when you play a video game or an FPS, sometimes you win a fight, sometimes you lose a fight due to scenarios, and even if it's all by chance of who's more luckier, well, that's really just all it is just luck.
I'm just thinking that these characters wouldn't fight. I guess Gene might be interested in the bounty, but
well, I mean, we know Vash wouldn't kill, so technically
Vash wouldn't kill. He'll fight, but he wouldn't kill.
Yeah, so that kind of just leads to.
I can't imagine Gene killing either, especially if it's somebody like Vash, who's you clearly can tell. I mean, I don't know. I think they would just get drunk together. I see that happening more than anything else. We already talked about Howard the Duck and the horrors that it is, so we'll keep this one short.
Keep it out. Keep it out. Vietnam flashbacks.
Duck tits.
Fuck.
Alrighty, we'll skip that one. Some newer questions we've gotten more. Let me see. Some newer questions we got were. Let's see. Sony or Microsoft? Well, for me, Sony. You, neither. Right?
Well, I mean, are you talking about the consoles or products?
Consoles.
Okay. That's a little better. I was about to say, like, products, I'm just like... Microsoft?
Okay, but we're doing consoles, though.
Neither.
You're a PC guy.
Yeah.
I got a PlayStation 4, so I'm Sony.
The only way they can get me into consoles is with exclusives, and Sony's got me leaning more towards them with more exclusives.
Yeah. Let's see. Next question. Okay. I'm just sitting through these. Here we go. All right. What anime would you show somebody who's never seen anime in their whole life?
I think I'd start with probably Full Metal Alchemist because it's the more mature. It has it in it. I would not go with Shonen, which a lot of people do because Shonen is long, and Shonen are very drawn out.
The thing is, a lot of people start off with Shonen because that's just what they find. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho, which I think are the best of that genre.
I think showing Trigun is also another.
I say Cowboy Bebop because it's probably the easiest to get into because it's the most westernized.
Because that's what I'm kind of leaning toward. Like, not really the ones that are really set in Japan. I think those are more like for later on.
Yeah, when you're more willing to watch something that feels more foreign.
I feel like the big ones to probably start off would be Full Metal Alchemist, Trigun, and Bebop. Would probably be a little more. They're more easier in general, and because they can watch it dubbed over sub.
Yeah.
So they're a lot more easier for them to really get into. And then, they're like, okay, I really like these kind of genres. Then they can start actually getting more. They can start
expanding and start looking into other things.
Because I think those are just the big, easiest three to get into.
Okay. We just so happen to have like a bunch of anime questions together.
Oh, that's perfectly fine.
All right. Okay, which is better, Trigun or Cowboy Bebop? Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Okay, Trigun, storytelling wise, it doesn't do hot, but Trigun's a really damn good example of character over plot.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn, that is a hard thing to pick.
I mean, I just leaning more towards Trigun, but that's just because I really fucking love Vash. I just love the character and how well. I mean, I don't agree with his no killing process, but that's the only thing I find really what flaws with him.
Actually, I kind of find that inspiring, but I love Vash so much, and then you got so many great characters in that show. The girls. I'm trying to remember their names. Millie and Meryl.
Yeah, Millie and Meryl. The villain wasn't so much, but the one who made Vash kill was the one that was really.
Oh, God, Bluestone or whatever his name was.
Yeah, he had a few scenes, and every time he was on scene, it was just like, oh. And he killed all the bandits.
Legato.
Like, he was the one who killed all the bandits,
Legato
right?
Blue Summer, that was his name.
He killed all the bandits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, you think you're like, oh, is he bad? And then you find out he's clearly bad. He's a weird one.
I know really weird because he wanted Bash to kill him.
Well, here's the thing. In the manga, he's much different in the manga. He's solely psychic powers because his whole body his spine gets like shattered early on in the show or early on in the comic. So the most of the time he's just this twisted husk of a body, just in this kind of coffin looking thing. When he does like his psychic mind screws, he talks like in the Japanese. From what I heard, in the sub, his voice is more sexual sounding than in the dub. The dub, he's more kind of commanding sounding. And god damn it, just a cool villain.
You know, and they both have amazing soundtracks.
Oh god, yes. But I can't. I love Trigun, but Bebop. It's
Spike's awesome. He's cool, and you know, the fucking what's it called? Turn of the episode, the one that had this psychic guy who was afraid of cats.
That's a great episode.
That cinematography was just
the.
I forgot what the episode name was.
I can't remember it was like some French name. But I can't pronounce it. That is a great episode. Some of the best animation in the entire show. They have some amazing standalone episodes. I can't even think of about. Okay, I can think one not so good episode. It's still a good episode.
Yeah, it's still good.
It's still good. It's just not as good. And that's the one that was the one with the mushrooms.
Oh, how do you not like that one?
I don't. Probably because I'm not a big Edward fan. I
mean, not even Edward, but just watching the characters fucking stone was hilarious. Spike Spiegel on one step, just going back and forth. He's like, the step's never in.
I never get. That was not one of my favorite episodes. But on the same note, I like an episode a lot of people don't care for, and that's Heavy Metal Queen. I actually really like that episode, but a lot of people don't.
Remind me which one was that?
This one with the trucker. The trucker woman with the cat. Her thing is everybody had to get... People would try to guess her real name, and people would like bet $10 to try to figure out what her name is. If they're wrong, they have to pay her, but if they're right, she has to pay them the whole pile.
Okay, I don't really... The only ones because I need to rewatch it. The ones I remember is the one where Spike needs to get his ship fixed. Which...
Are we talking about the episode where he basically had to land in that shuttle?
Yeah.
I remember that episode. I just can't remember the name of it. I remember things from that episode. I remember the kid. Have you noticed that Cowboy Bebop probably has the most ethnicities in any other anime? Because how many anime can you think of? How many animes have you seen with a Indian, with a Native American character? How many anime can you think of that wasn't Afro Samurai? How many anime can you think of that had a black character?
African American in it. Boondocks?
Does that even count?
Slightly.
I don't think it's an anime, though. I think that was American made.
Avatar?
American made.
I'm just throwing shit out there now. I don't know.
Anyway, I don't want to be like everybody else, but my favorite episode is a tie between episode 5 and the last episode. Episode 5 is when you first see Vicious. Although I do love episode 1. I do love the first episode because It is one giant reference to Desperado, but I don't care. Desperado was awesome, and so was that episode. It was perfect introduction. Another favorite episode of mine is when they go to I think it's another early episode where they go. It's when they first meet Faye.
The casino.
The casino episode. I love that episode. Just Spike and Jet being being my favorite character out of the show.
I would think that you would like his backstory episode.
Oh, that's a good one. I forgot about that one. That is a real good one. And I love film noir, so I love that episode. It really felt like cop drama, like from the 40s.
I mean, I guess with this argument, which one's better? I'm gonna lean towards Bebop. I mean, I love Trigun, but Bebop just, it has more detail with the characters, more of the background. I mean, Trigun did too back when they were on the ship.
Well,
with Vash's past.
Well, yeah, but the characters were still well. In both, they're both amazing shows. Both of them, the characters are well developed. I gotta go Bebop, but Trigun is right up there. It's a must watch. If anybody has not seen Trigun or Cowboy Bebop, what the fuck are you doing? Go watch these shows.
What's sad is they're not on Netflix.
Yeah, and Trigun was. They lost the license to it, I think. I think I think Hulu has Trigun. I think maybe Crunchyroll might have it. Not Bebop, but I think they might have Trigun.
I think Funimation might have it. If I can find it, I'll probably put it in the links.
Wait, why would Funimation have it?
I don't know, they just have a huge sum of animation.
They're not Funimation products.
Oh, they're not? Well, never mind.
Well, no. Cowboy Bebop is now. Okay. It was bought by Funimation now.
Okay, then it should be in there then.
Or not now, but it was bought by Funimation. I forgot about that.
So Bebop will be in there, and Trigun I'd have to look elsewhere.
If you find them on DVD, it'd probably be the best way. Just go on Amazon and find them on DVD. That's probably what I'm going to have to do. Also check out their movies. The Trigun one's not as good as the show. But, if you're just curious and you really like Trigun, you might as well check it out. The Cowboy Bebop movie, that one's really, really good. Obviously, it doesn't take place after the show, considering Spike's still alive. Spoilers.
But, I mean, also with Cowboy Bebop, fucking best ending ever.
Oh, yeah, that was a hell of an ending.
Bang. It's just like, wow.
Perfect ending to a perfect anime.
I mean, compared to Trigun's, which, he just carries his brother away.
Well, that's still a great ending. That final fight between Vash and Knives, dear God. So good. How far we've gone?
We still got quite a bit of time. We're so good.
How much?
About hour 48.
Alright. That was a tough one. Okay, let's see if the next question is as good as that one. Have you ever watched G Gundam? And so, what did you think?
Which one's G Gundam?
Mobile Fighter. Where, they're not there's no pilots anymore. They're martial artists. The Gundams follow their movements.
I've never seen that.
I fucking love it because it is so stupid. It's so cliched, so melodramatic. I absolutely love the ending because it just basically says, fuck you. We do what we want. It's so cheesy. It is a terrible ending. The ending of the series is horrible, but it's also hilarious. Burning, erupting finger of love.
The fuck?
That the attack of the main character's attack was erupting burning finger. The whole show, there's kind of this thing about the two main characters between Domokashu and Rain. Basically, it's the romance of it. It's the romance part of the show, which is balanced out by actually some pretty kick-ass action. The animation is very limited. Keep in mind, we're talking like 1994. This was on Toonami, I think in the early 2000s, like 2001, I believe. This was also showed like right after Zoids or something. I think Zoids. But yeah, unlike in the other Gundam series, where it's pilots fighting in a war, these are martial artists fighting in a tournament. I can't remember what the name of the tournament is, but each fighter represents a nation. And the fighters fight until there's only one left standing. That's how the narrator always would say it. Yeah, they have a narrator who is an actual character. Well, not really an actual character, but he does. But in the opening, sometimes he kind of interacts with with one of the characters. But for the most part, he's like this announcer who's like, he has an eye patch, he's wearing a suit and all that. And at the beginning of every episode, he would shout the mobile fighters ready, fight, and then they'll kick off the episode. It's not. There are legitimately good things about the show, but it is so cheesy at times. But it's rippable. It is rippable so easily. There's an episode where they're giving. There's one character who represents Neo America. Yeah, it's all Neo. Neo Japan, Neo Germany, Neo Hong Kong. Apparently, a city is a nation now, but I could have that one wrong. Neo China. And I remember the 5 Gundams, the 5 main Gundams. Originally, it was Shining Gundam, then later Burning Gundam, or if you go by the Japanese, God Gundam, or Gundam God, or something like that. Then you have Gundam. It's either Gundam Maxter or Maxter Gundam. Basically, the gimmick is a boxer. You have Gundam Rose, Bolt Gundam, and Dragon Gundam. Those were the main 5. It's basically it's all the nations fighting in a tournament. The winner of the tournament, that nation rules over all the nations, all the space colonies. It's a way to basically assure peace and prevent war. But it basically leaves the Earth as just a barren wasteland, because the Gundam fights just basically fuck the planet. And Damon Kashu's journey is not just he joined the Gundam fights hopefully to find his brother who took off in an experimental Gundam called the Dark Gundam, or the Devil Gundam if you want to go by the Japanese, which it exhibits this ability to self-replicate and heal. It's machinery that can actually heal itself, but they also can take over the pilot and drive them crazy, also kill them, and also there's zombies in the show.
Zombies just cuz, or zombies because
of the Dark Gundam. The Dark Gundam, not like what you would think. It's
okay.
The Dark Gundam cells have this nasty habit of, it kind of can bring the dead back to life because of its replication ability. I could be remembering this horribly wrong, but there was an episode where Sensaishi, the fighter from China, has to fight a mummy. I am not kidding. Fucking mummy. Every episode is on YouTube, by the way, if you want to check out the show. It's actually a lot. It's actually not as bad as I'm making it sound. I'm just saying that it's when it's good, it's kind of awesome. When it's bad, it's hilarious. It's cheesy as all hell. Anyway, the episode I was going to talk about was the fighter from America, Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy Crockett. It's a pun on Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy Crockett. Which I think these names were changed in the dub. But yeah, Jiminy Crockett. He has like this group of 5 girls who follow him around all the time. They're like his chauffeurs, art jailers. Actually, they were space pirates. They were originally space pirates, but he gave them they gave them a real job so they wouldn't be executed for their crimes. Some reason they decided to give them to him so they don't get executed or put away or whatever the case was. I think in the dub it might have been they might go to jail or something. No, I think it was executed. They would have been executed. Anyway, they're talking about how they met Jiminy Crockett, and the whole time they're talking while they're trying to sabotage the Shining Gundam. And I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? Are you telling yourselves this? Because don't all y'all already know this considering you lived it? So why are you retelling your story to yourselves? I know who they're talking to. They're talking to me. They're talking to the audience.
But you're not there, so it's just kind of like,
who are you talking to? There's some
We're talking to the Gundam.
There's some delightfully stupid shit in this show. To answer your question, I enjoy it, but it's more guilty pleasure kind of stuff. There are some legitimately good moments in it, and some really cool action scenes. Again, you have to keep your you have to remember 1994. The animation was very limited.
I can tolerate any animation.
All right. Well, that was pretty much it. I wish you saw the show already, but there we go. Next question. Let's see. Alrighty, and this is the last anime question. Where should I put this? What is the weirdest anime you've ever seen?
Man, that's a lot.
Oh, by the way, I had trouble with that one just because of the way he put it. But basically, he's saying, what's the weirdest anime you've ever seen? I'm going to say The Ultimate Teacher. I need to show you clips of that.
I'm going to lean on Excel Saga, but I feel like that's a little too easy. I want to see stuff
Apocalypse Zero. That's a pretty weird one. Mad Bull 44. Mad Bull 45. That's a really weird one.
I mean, Great Teacher Onizuka was weird, but amazingly, like one of those shows where it's like it's weird but awesome.
I'm trying for spectacularly wacky, just fucking insane.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying GTO was
I'm going with
quite wacky.
I'm going with Apocalypse Zero.
Have
you ever seen it?
No, I haven't.
I need to show you it. That's when we need to do that show where we just watch a movie and just I want to get your reactions to it. Because I think that would be funny to listen to. It's just us losing our fucking mind watching that.
I'm gonna go with Excel Saga is probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Especially the last episode.
God, you need to watch Apocalypse Zero. Because nothing tops a... I'm not going to talk about it. It's just... Trust me, it's weird.
I think anything out of the Eki genre would be weird also, but I don't watch anything like that, so...
Legend of Overfiend, that's a pretty weird one, but that's big. Okay, Legend of Overfiend, I just want to say this. This is... The BBC put this on their list of greatest best animated movies or something like that. And I think it's stupid that they put it on because it is dog shit. The movie is dog shit. But here's the thing. A lot of people say, oh, it's so weird. I've never seen anything like this. It's fucking hentai. It's hentai. It is just tentacle hentai. That's all it is. I'm just saying. It gets weirder.
Okay, I thought it couldn't get any weirder than that.
No, I'm just saying. In the world of hentai, it can get weirder.
I don't want to know.
Neither do I. I'm just saying, though, the Legend of the Overfiend, it's disgusting to watch. It's very unappealing.
Why the fuck did it get an award?
It didn't get an
award, but why is it being claimed to be
something great? It wasn't. I think they just wanted to talk about. They just wanted to talk about something that's slightly pornographic on that thing. I mean, they threw Fritz the cat on there, which is packed full of fuzzy tits. I know that.
Can we move on? I'm already just getting, scars, and I don't need more scars as is.
But anyway, I think Legend of the Overfiend gets this reputation of being so, just, what the fuck? Just this, horrifying reputation. And it's just shitty 90s hentai. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of tit shots and panty shots. There are disgusting things that happen in that. There are things that happen. Let's just say that.
Okay, I don't need to delve into this anymore. That's something that just doesn't need to be.
I'm just saying though, that one was pretty weird. But Apocalypse Zero is weirder, and it's not even hentai. It's just weirder. All right. Oh dear God! I just remembered something.
What?
No, it's from Apocalypse Zero.
Oh, gross.
No. Remember, Apocalypse Zero is not hentai.
I don't care. If it's weirder than it, then I don't want to know.
It's not weirder in a disgusting thing. It's more weirder in what the fuck kind of way. All right, next question. That was the last anime one. No, you know what? Fully Cooley's kind of weird.
Yeah, but it was weird, but it wasn't as weird as that was.
It's weird. It's not as weird as Apocalypse Zero.
Yeah.
I still hold that the Ultimate Teacher is probably the dumbest but most entertaining piece of shit you'll ever find, and it's a pretty weird one too. Trust me, look up any clip from it.
I'll tell you what. I'll look it up if you watch GTO. Because you need to watch GTO.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay, next question. And how long have we been on? Because this might be your last one.
2 hours. Okay.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Okay, last question.
Okay, last question. What is... Okay, you're really going to go with this. Okay, what is your top 5 video games plot-based video games? I don't know what the fuck you mean by that, but...
It means like plot-driven or just with plots.
We're not going to go do top 5s. I think that'll just take too long. Me, Metal Gear Solid. You can't... To me, that's the best video game story.
Let's see... Why, you're not even going to throw in, extra ones? Or is that what you just feel like right off the bat? Flat?
Right off the bat. That would be my number one. I don't know. I really would have to think about it. I think Arkham City tells a pretty good story, but that's just more. I hesitate to call that because it's not original. It's not original video game material. The plot itself is unique to that game. I mean, it's not based on anything direct, but it's it's Batman. It's based on comic books and stuff like that. I wasn't sure if that would count.
I think for me, I'm gonna go with Mass Effect 2 is number 1.
I have not played the Mass Effect game, so that's why I didn't.
You can jump in right into 2. 1's only really because you want to save just one really badass character. That's all 1's really there for. Story wise, 1's kind of drops the ball a little bit and isn't really that interesting. 2 picks up everything flawlessly and is fucking hooked. 3 drops the ball pretty badly at the end.
Well, yeah, just the ending though. But I heard the game was actually really good up until the ending.
Yeah, like the overall, yeah, some of it makes sense, but just the ending just drops the ball so bad that it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
And that's why they added a new DLC ending.
And even then, it still doesn't fix enough.
Well, anyway,
no honorable mentions? Jeez. I'll just sit there and say any other ones you don't.
No, I'm fixing to. God damn, give me a sec. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Silent Hill. Throw that one in there.
Which one?
The first one.
The first one.
Maybe the second one. The second one's really good.
I like the atmosphere for the second one.
The second one probably be like when I said Metal Gear Solid, I'm including all 4 of the main games.
Not any of them in particular. Just
it's just as one giant story. It's great. It's kind of you got this kind of weird thing where you kind of don't want to play 1 through 4. You kind of want to go in kind of out of order kind of way, because you start with 3, play Peace Walker if you have a PS. Well, actually, you can just if you don't have a PSP or if you have no desire to play it on a PSP, I think you can buy it on the PlayStation 4 or 3 at least. There was one more, but I can't remember the name of it. But basically, you would want to go. And this is how the order probably would be: Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater; Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker; Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, because that one is after Peace Walker. Then, if you really want to go for the full-on thing, play the old Metal Gear games, Metal Gear 1 and 2. But for actual story, you go to Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and then 4. Because 4 is the end of the series. I don't count Revengeance. I really do not count that as a continuation. Because, like, with Raiden, his story ended in 4. There was no reason for him to ever go back into the field. His story's done. And it's just... God, the ending to 4 is just so good. It encompasses everything that's awesome about Metal Gear Solid. Hell, that last fight with Ocelot. That last fight with Ocelot or Liquid Ocelot, whatever you want to call him. You go through different fights. You fight Liquid, who kind of possesses Ocelot. It's complicating. It goes back to Metal Gear Solid 2. You fight Liquid Snake, and the music from Metal Gear Solid 1 is playing. Then it switches to Ocelot. It goes back to Ocelot. Then the music from 2 starts playing. Then he does the old Ocelot hand gesture. I can't really do it because I can't hold my hands up, but just kind of does that. He just does that, and then the music from Metal Gear Solid 3 plays, which is my favorite Metal Gear game, is 3. And it's just, you're like, holy shit. Especially if you play these games from the first game, which I did not. I've started with 2.
So it just makes it like really epic because it's playing, the music's just playing along with it just so well.
Yeah, it's such a great ending. And keep in mind, the ending keeps going and going and going. Even when Solid Snake meets, spoilers, Solid Snake meets Big Boss, who you thought was dead. By all rights, should be dead. But you meet Big Boss, the guy Solid Snake was cloned from. And you're kind of sad throughout the whole thing because you're like, dude, Solid Snake is dying for this game. He's just, he's a clone, so he's aged rapidly, and you can tell that this is probably his last mission. He probably has probably a year left of life out of him. Hell, at the end of the game, you have to go through this hallway that's just riddled with microwaves. It's on this giant ship. I would have to really go back and look and see exactly what led up to that. But basically, he's trying to shut down this thing that would shut down nanobots and just basically put it into, it's near to the end of the game. So, Big Bad gets control of a big weapon or something like that. I watched all the cutscenes like 6 years ago, so my memory is really bad. But there's a scene where he's going through this. He's already tore up. He's down on his knees. He's crying. He's puking. He's like can't stand it anymore. He's dragging his body on the ground, and you're like, dude, just give up. You don't have to fight anymore. You're done. Other people can pick it up from here. But that's what makes Snake such an awesome character. And the whole time, he's just like, never was a hero. He just says, never was a hero. I'm not a hero. Never was. Never will be. And that is Snake in a nutshell. He's doing what he feels like is right, but he's not pretending he's some kind of hero. In fact, like Big Boss, Big Boss was a big villain. But I think in Phantom Pain, you realize that it wasn't as clean cut as it was in the old games. That Big Boss wasn't some evil character. That's what Phantom Pain's probably going to go through. 4 was just the perfect capstone to Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, it was heavy on the cutscenes from what I heard. You were more watching it than playing it, but you don't care. You're just so invested in this. The story's 9 hours, by the way, just cutscenes. 9 hours of cutscenes.
Damn.
It's the perfect bookend to Metal Gear Solid. You can't do anything beyond 4. I feel like 4 was the perfect ending, the perfect cap to the story. Now you can do prequels. You can still bridge that gap between Metal Gear and Phantom Pain. Bridge that gap in I don't know. Maybe they'll remake the Metal Gear 1 and 2. Actually redo Outer Heaven, and I mean in Peace Walker, you're building your base. After a while, you're like, holy shit, this is Outer Heaven. Like, it's just kind of a nostalgia. No, nostalgia. It's just kind of a mind blown. Just like, holy shit. I have played every Metal Gear Solid game except 4. I did get to play the original Metal Gear because my friend has an old PlayStation that had the game. I have not played the HD, or not HD. I have not played the re-rendered remake on the GameCube, which looks more like Metal Gear Solid 2. Actually, I think it's the same engine. So what would you throw in there?
Hold on, sorry, I'm a little sleepy.
We're almost done.
I just haven't got enough sleep. Ugh. Okay. Let's see. Other games that are actually honestly thrown in there. Well, like I've always stated before, The Walking Dead, and I'm probably gonna go with also.
Forget about Walking Dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in with season 1 and 2. I mean, season 2 mainly is the fact that it's more character driven with Clementine. The plot's okay. The Kenny ending was honestly, I think, fucking was as good as the first ending from season 1.
I've not played season 2, so I only know season. How the fuck does Kenny survive? Because I played, he died.
Yeah, I think what they wanted to do is you were supposed to let Ben die, pretty much. I think that was the canon thought.
I see. Who would do that?
Well, I mean, because Ben
was a little shit, but he didn't deserve to die.
Well, I mean, it comes to the problem where, I mean, I can understand, he doesn't deserve to die, but at the same time, he's caused so much shit, he's caused so much problem.
Well, yeah, but I didn't take that route. You want to know the only reason why? Clementine.
Why you let her go with you?
Clementine she would have seen it either way. Yeah, I did take her because it's like, I knew that dude was going to survive, even though, before I'm playing the game, I knew he was going to survive. But it's like, if I was in that situation, would I really leave her there with a potential walker in the house?
Well, I mean, it was like, okay, take her to Crawford.
But Crawford's even more fucked up. I did feel bad for taking her to Crawford.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, can I just leave one more person here besides, like, you know?
Yeah, why did we have... Did we really... Okay, you didn't want to leave...
They could leave Krista.
You could leave... Yeah, you could leave Krista.
Krista Omi. Would have been fine. Why did Krista need to go?
Yeah, that would have made sense.
I mean, that was my only problem.
Why the fuck did they kill Obni in season 2?
I don't know. I felt like that was just a tearjerk. That's one...
That was just a fuck you to anybody who liked that character. I liked Obi. I liked those two characters. And it was just like... that's the thing. You get invested in the character, you start to like a character, dead. Yeah. It happens in the comics, it happens in the show, it happens in the game.
It's just like, come on, can I just live a little longer? Or you know, can we go the Kenny route where, you know, if you don't see it, then you don't know they're dead?
Well, no, he's clearly dead.
I mean, I think with the Kenny scene, they went more with the other way, where if you let Ben die, Kenny it drops down the hole, and you don't really get to see what happens to him.
Well, here's the thing. I'm taking season 1 as a story on its own, not taking a sequel into account. It made more storyline sense for the other ending. You know, you save Ben and Kenny after all the shit he's gone through, all the crap especially after when he learned about Ben. The fact that he's like, fuck it, gotta save him. And just, I think that was the better way for Kenny to go out. And I really like Kenny. I know a lot of people hated Kenny.
I mean, that was really his redeeming scene, was when he was in the alleyway.
Yeah, that was...
Because, you know, he didn't really have to really die. That was the thing. He didn't really have to stay there.
But he chose to. He chose to make sure Ben didn't suffer. And because the thing though is, the way I did it, I had Lee put down. I put down when I was playing the game. Lee put down Duck. He put down the kid in the attic. I felt like this was basically Kenny's time to man up and really be a hero, really be something.
And speaking of the Duck scene, someone was actually rejoicing to the fact that character died.
Oh, come on. I cried.
I mean,
there is not a lot that makes me cry. That made me cry.
I don't know, like, because the guy was reviewing it, and he was like, oh, look, it took, like, 3 episodes to finally kill this character. And I was like, that's
Look, Duck was annoying. I did not like Duck as a character, but just Kenny, just losing his son and wife. It's just like, holy shit, you feel so bad for this character. I said I cried, but it was more like just a snob,
Well, I mean, that whole episode, you lose 4 characters?
Are you sure? I think that's 2 different episodes.
No, episode 3, you lose 4 characters.
Yeah, whoever you take from
Doug or what was it?
Doug or the girl that... Who saved Doug? Honestly.
I saved Doug.
What good does he do?
He's smart. He knew how to, the remote. That was his only really routine.
I mean, come on. What was... The girl, I can't remember her name. Because I've always saved her.
Carly.
I never saved Doug. Because it's like, she has a gun. She actually can shoot. What good does Doug do?
At least he's smart enough to put batteries into a damn radio.
At least she can shoot a gun.
That was dirt.
Well, I'm sorry. Shooting seems more important. The fuck is... What would he do? I seriously... I'm not trying to be an asshole. I seriously don't... I'm trying to figure out what that character would have done in her place.
Well, when you pick him over, he just sets up a rig that rings a bell whenever it's walkers.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, he sets up tripwires.
Okay. You know what? I kind of appreciate this thing in Walking Dead where they're not zombies or walkers or biters or something like that. Just in the concept of, look, zombies don't exist. But pop culturally, they don't exist in this world. And it makes sense. Why would you call them a zombie? You call them a biter or a walker or something because, they walk or they bite. It makes sense. Geeks did not make sense.
Yeah, it was really weird when stuff used geeks.
Well, the thing is, hands grabbing, and that girl was hot, and I wanted Lee to get some. I'm just saying that girl was awesome. What was her name?
Carly.
Was it Carly? No.
What?
The one you met in
At Crawford or that town?
In that town.
Molly.
Yeah, Molly. Molly was awesome, and Lee deserved to get some. I'm just saying. All the shit Lee had to go through.
It was a little weird that she actually got a whole backstory in one episode a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to know a little bit about her. I was just like, huh.
It was kind of cool that you got to interact with some of the characters. We're basically going to end this episode talking about Walking Dead because it's so awesome. My pick was Metal Gear Solid. Your pick is Walking Dead?
Oh, no, it was Mass Effect 2. And I can go in for a very long reason, but we're already at the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, I can't believe we went 2 hours. Usually we struggle to go an hour and a half. But we had a lot of catch up. There was stuff we didn't talk about. There's stuff we didn't answer.
So it's like practically 2.
We're going to probably finish off a lot of this on a bargain bin. And I think that's pretty much what the bargain bin is going to be for. It's just going to be used for the leftovers. So that's pretty much it. We'll do a bargain bin where we just talk about Walking Dead because we need to do that one of these days. I don't know when that would be. Probably, I don't know. Maybe when Walking Dead comes back on TV, maybe then we'll talk about it. But,
yeah, I mean, I think we should probably just start planning these things out a little more.
Okay. The bargain bins are the ones where we do topics. Hobby Shop is where we talk about news that's came in. Well, sorry about missing a week, and we're really working on trying to get caught up. I take responsibility for last week's episode not going up because it's my computer. I didn't set it up even though you told me. I honestly forgot. I was dealing with family and all that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So this has been the Hobby Shop Podcast. I'm Philip
and Don,
and we'll see you next week. I would say